Yeah, I think ultimately we're in a industry that decisions are made for the betterment of the organization as a whole. And I think with that trade, that's what was in mind. And it's sad to see your brother go that you've connected with, you've grown with, you've worked hard with. But ultimately, I think all parties want to look at the best possible outcome, right? And talk to Book, and I think he's looking at it the best possible way he can, and he's excited to get an opportunity there. And yeah, going forward, let's just try to make the best out of it.
We'll go to John McMullen and then Dave Zangaro.
Hey, Moro. You've gotten so much positive reinforcement, I feel, this summer. We were talking to Clint Hurts yesterday. He mentioned you're a three-down player, you're not a role player. When you hear stuff like that, how do you handle it? Because obviously, you're taking a big step forward in your career, but you're getting that positive reinforcement. Do you just handle things the same way as usual?
Yeah, I think you have to. We're in a league and just a situation where sometimes you can't be too high, you can't be too low, right? So I think you receive those things and you're happy to receive those things, and they can be used to encourage yourself. But you don't want, I think it's Saban that talks about the rat poison, right? You don't want to
Yeah.
listen to that too much. And you just keep working. You put your head down and you work and keep improving.
We'll go to Dave and then Brooks.
Hey, Mauro, when you think about your first 2 years in the league and all the work that went into the developmental process, what are some things about that process that you think the average person might not know?
Yeah, I think the average person doesn't know how amazing our staff is, from the top to the bottom, from player personnel, development, the weight room, the nutrition staff, the training room, coaches, and I think those people help a ton. Also, maybe how much teammates lean on one another, how much teammates can inspire and help others. Right? Having vets like BG and Fletch, I think, really helped. And yeah, having guys like Matt Leo, Patrick McDowell, Clint Hurt, Tracy Rocker, all those guys, they kind of help you, right? And they have experience and they've seen what it takes to get there. They kind of just push you in the right direction.
We'll go to Brooks and then Olivia.
How would you describe the demands of a three down defender like you in this defense?
Yeah, I would describe it as Clint Hurt is a former defensive coordinator, and I think he helps us see the defense as a whole, right? So just being an intelligent football player, I think that's one of the things Jalen Carter does at an extremely high level, right? Kind of understanding, are we getting run pass keys? What is there somebody that's showing us something that every time he does this, it's a run, right? That someone told me something and it changed the way I played football. They basically said that generally when you're at this level, everyone has talent, right? But some people play faster, and they play faster because they're seeing things on the field, right? So how can you slow the game down? I think is key.
We'll go to Olivia and then Johnny.
Hey, Maura, when we talked to Landon Dickerson last week, he gave you a compliment. He said that you're awkward to block. And I think there's like a kind of a combination of factors that go into that, including your size and the way you move. Some of that is inherent, but first of all, have you heard that assessment before? Do you agree with that? And then also, is there anything that you do to kind of like lean into that quote unquote awkwardness and kind of take advantage of that?
Yeah, I think that I thank my dad and God and just genes. I think I have a really long wingspan, and I think that that's a extreme benefit when you're a defensive lineman. And then I think that what you do is you kind of study offensive linemen and defensive linemen. You want to make an offensive lineman uncomfortable, right? So in whatever way that you can do that, I think that's the goal. And when you kind of have that, when that happens, you're able to, make the plays and do the things you want to do.
We'll go to Johnny and then C-Mac.
Maura, we saw him Thursday night, Ty Robinson get a sack in his first action at the link. What has impressed you about Ty so far during this camp and this preseason?
Yeah, one, Ty's a very smart player. He's a great rookie. And he listens and asks questions. And then I think he has a really great pass rush ability. And he showed up every day, works hard, listens, and I mean, I'm excited to see what he continues to do.
We'll go to C-Mac and then Martin.
Moro, you've been here in Philly for a couple of years now. On a Sunday night in August, there's going to be 60,000 fans at the link. It's a sellout for the practice tonight. What does that mean to you as a player?
It means everything. This organization from the top to the bottom is run extremely well, and I think the fans appreciate that. And the fans are amazing, right? You don't get this in many other cities. You don't get to be surrounded by fans that care and they want to see you wear the logo with pride, and it helps the players. That energy, energy helps everyone, right? You need energy to do anything great in life, and I think we're so grateful. I know we're so grateful to have such an amazing fan base.
We only have time for a few more, so we'll go Martin, Rube, and then finish with Zach.
Hey, Moro. Obviously, this season you kind of have a different role in, where you stand, with the first team and everything like that. So I was kind of curious, as a guy who probably won't play in the preseason games, what you kind of get out of this week with the Browns coming in for practice, going against their offensive line. Like, how valuable is that for you guys, you personally, and also the defensive line as a whole? Thanks.
Yeah, I think that where we are as a defensive line is just trying to be the greatest competitors that we can be, and we work to be the best, at everything. And I think we're super excited to face a team such as the Browns, that has great offensive linemen, and excited for the competition.
We'll go to Rube here and then finish with Zach.
One other thing Clint Hurtt said yesterday was that he considers you like a coach on the field, like you're almost like an extra coach. What does that mean to you to hear your position coach say that?
Honored. A guy that's been in coaching, I think, 20 plus years. A brilliant coach, a guy that's coached a ton of players. And yeah, I think one thing that Clint does at an extremely high level is allow us to take ownership in the room and allow us to build from one another. And, if JC is able to tell me something here, I'm able to tell him something here. It's amazing. It's really fun.
We'll go to Zach.
Hey, Moro, what's something you're doing this summer that you weren't doing last summer?
That's a good question. I think as time has progressed, I realized some of the little intricacies of what is important for a defensive line when you think about like the positions that we're kind of in and what makes a great defensive lineman. I think when you see a lot of great defensive linemen, you kind of see there's leg drive incorporated with core and a lot of grip strength, So I think I've been honing in on some of the finer details and the finer positions that I find myself in more often.